Esta conferencia.
Vale, pues una vez más, buenos días y bienvenidos a todos. Es un placer estar un jueves más con todos vosotros y encantados de vuestro interés en nuestros webinars. Como sabéis, hoy tenemos Six Senses Zighy, nuestra propiedad en Omán, y vamos a tener con nosotros a Katia Graf, que es la directora de ventas y que, bueno,
Hola,
nos lo va a explicar
Hola.
de maravilla. La tenéis en pantalla. Lo único que os voy a pedir, como siempre, es que pongáis en mute el micrófono para que se oiga mejor a Katia explicando. Y bueno, que si tenéis preguntas, pues o bien las podéis escribir en el chat, como hacemos siempre, o las podemos dejar para el final y podréis preguntar directamente a Katia. Katia no se entiende ahora mismo porque ya entiende un poquito de español, pero todavía no, no es tan fluida hablando, así que la presentación será en inglés y las preguntas os las responderá también. Pero bueno, como sé que me entiende, le voy a pasar directamente el turno de palabra. Thank you, Katia, for joining us, and I hope that you enjoy doing this presentation for all our market in Spain and Portugal.
Of course. It's over to me?
It's over to you.
Over to me. Can you see the screen already?
Yes.
Yes. Perfect. And I'm going to switch my camera off then. Perfect. So let's start. So first of all, thank you very much, Alberto, Irene, and Bea, for organizing this. I'm very, very happy to have the chance to present Six Senses Zighy Oman today to such a great audience. I'm very impressed with the number of people we have on the call. Let's start with the location. Okay, if that goes. Yes. So as you can see on the map, Six Senses Zighy Bay is, even though it's on Omani territory, it's actually surrounded by the UAE. So the closest airport to Six Senses Zighy Bay is Dubai Airport. You can theoretically fly into Muscat Airport as well. However, it's not very much recommended because the drive up to Zighy takes about 5 hours. And there is 2 border crossings in between as well. And sometimes with the border crossing waiting time, it can take up to an hour or so to wait. So the whole journey takes quite a while. We do have guests that drive from Muscat and they do enjoy the drive, but it really depends on how much time guests have. And if they don't want to spend a day in the car, then it's definitely easier to fly into Dubai. So you arrive in Dubai Airport, we will send our cars to pick you up. You have a very luxurious car for a 2.5 hours journey. The journey, even though it's 2.5 hours, actually passes really quickly because you first drive out of Dubai, you can see all the skyscrapers, then you drive through Ras Al Khaimah, through the desert where you have the camels left and right, and then slowly you get into a more mountainous area. Towards Fujairah side, you cross the mountains, you drive along the coastline. So it's actually a very, very scenic drive, and there's a lot of change in scenery. So the 2.5 hours pass very, very quickly. And then once you arrive at the border point, going into the part of Oman where we're located, we will have our staff waiting for the guests. And we have already arranged border passes by that point. Because we would ask everyone to send passport copies of all our guests up to 3 days before arrival. So we arrange the border passes, our staff waits at the border and makes sure that everyone passes without any issues. That means also it's important to know that you don't need to issue an Oman visa when you come to Zighy Bay because it's not an official immigration border, it's only a police checkpoint, hence this border pass arrangement. And then as soon as you cross the border, you literally realize that you're in a different world. You get into Diba village, which is, I would say, maybe 10 houses and 500 goats that run around. You drive through the village and then you drive into the Hajar Mountains. And they're really beautiful and majestic mountains. You drive through a wadi and you see the mountains left and right. And some guests get a bit confused because you drive through the middle of nowhere. And they're like, are you sure that we're on the right track? Because also the last part of the road is not paved. So you're driving literally on a dirt road, on a gravel road. And that's done on purpose because we want to make sure that people switch off and completely, realize that they are in a different world now and they can leave their whole life behind them. So once you arrive at the Zighy Gate, you climb a massive mountain. And when you reach the top of the mountain, this is what you see. So you have the resort here on the right side of the picture, and then the Zighy village, the local village. That's a fisher village on the left side, and the local marina. You can see those beautiful mountains. That one way of arriving is just driving down this mountain road. That's already a thrilling experience because the mountains are very high. The other option you have to get into the resort is actually getting on a boat on the other side of the mountain and taking a 20 minutes mini cruise to our marina here. And it's a beautiful way of arriving, especially obviously during the day when you can see all these mountains falling straight into the ocean and you have the crystal clear water under you. It's a beautiful way to come in. On the other hand, if you're a little bit more adventurous, you can also paraglide in. And that's the one thing that Zighy Bay is very, very well known for around the world. It's a very thrilling experience. If you have time, go on Facebook, because our general manager did a Facebook live feed yesterday. And he did the jump himself, and it's a really cool video where you can see him flying over the mountains and then landing in Zighy Bay. So if you're interested to see what that experience looks like, go on Zighy Bay Facebook page, and then you can see. Once you arrive at the resort, you find an oasis. Basically, it's a date palm tree with a date palm plantage. We have more than 1,300 date palms in our resort, and it's built in the style of a local Omani village. So it's very authentic. And you can see here on the picture, it's only been built with natural materials. So in true Six Senses style, you have the timber wood, you have the natural stone, and the fabric. Everything is either locally sourced or at least from the region of either Oman or close by. We also have 100 Omanis working with us out of 400 staff. And you might know the Omanis are very hospitable people. They're very warm, they're very welcoming, and they absolutely love sharing their culture and you know the local habits with our guests. The resort itself is built with 82 villas. We don't have a main building, it's all villas, and all of them are super spacious. So here you can see actually the entry level category with our beautiful outdoor pool. All our villas have an outdoor pool. What you see on this picture is a beach villa, so you have direct access to the beach. The villas in the second and third row, they don't have the beach access, but they do still have the pool and the beautiful garden. On the left side of the picture, you can see the summer house, which is more or less the traditional way of how the Omanis used to get through the summer, because back in the day there was no air condition. So these summer houses are built a little bit higher up. They have air circulation, and it's a great way to spend a hot summer day just lying there and reading and listening to the sound of the ocean. Most of our villas are one-bedroom villas, but we do have a good variety as well of larger villas. What you see on the picture here is a 3-bedroom villa. It's one of our 2 reserves. So it's one of our top category villas. You have 2 master bedrooms upstairs. So when you wake up in the morning, all you see is the ocean. And then there is a twin bedroom downstairs for kids. And you can see it also has a much larger pool and a beautiful outdoor garden area. There is also duplex 2-bedroom villas available, and we have a beautiful 4-bedroom villa, which is our premium category. It's the private reserve. It's a little bit separate from the resort, so it's almost like a resort within the resort. It has 4 bedrooms, so it's suitable for up to 10 guests. And it has its own kitchen, but it also has a game room with a billiard table and in-villa cinema. So you can spend your whole vacation there. And you know, in times of social distancing, I think those villas are a great opportunity for a family to spend a beautiful vacation with, you know, the luxury of a 5-star hotel, but still being able to be a little bit isolated and just spend time with each other. We also have 2 pools in the resort. So if you get bored of your villa pool, which won't happen very soon, I promise, but you know, if you want to go out and see some other guests, you can. This is the main pool in the center of the resort. There is also a saltwater pool on the other side of the resort, which is the largest saltwater pool in the Middle East. And the salt for this saltwater pool is actually created on resort because we're making our own water. We have our own drinking water, which means we are converting seawater into drinking water. And the salt that we get out of that process is then filtered into the saltwater pool. It's very beneficial for health, and it's great swimming in that water if you have muscle aches or pain. It's super relaxing. But you can just lie at this pool and relax and listen to the birds and the ocean. One thing that is absolutely beautiful about Zighy is that it's super peaceful. You have no noise pollution whatsoever. There is no cars, there is no boats, there is no jet skis allowed in the bay. So we have, when you lie there, you literally, all you hear is nature. So it's a perfect place to just reconnect with yourself and really switch off. You also find 4 restaurants in the resort for 82 rooms. That's a great variety. So guests can have different experiences every day, even if they stay for longer periods. What you see here on the picture is our signature restaurant on top of the mountain. It's 300 meters above sea level. It's called Sands on the Edge. And when you sit there in the evening, that's the view you get. So it's beautiful, especially for sunset. Even though the sun sets on the other side of the mountain, over the wadi, over the valley of the behind the mountain. But you can see when the sun sets, you can see the way how the shadow changes in the rocks and how the whole atmosphere changes sitting there. It's just absolutely beautiful. And we also offer sunrise yogas there, or sunrise breakfast, because the sun actually comes up just on that side of the mountain. This is one of my personal favorites. This is Shua Shak. It's on the beach, as you can see. So it's typical Arabic setting. You have your feet in the sand. You can hear the waves in the background. And that restaurant is only open twice a week because that's where we prepare the lamb in the traditional Omani way. So the lamb is cooked 24 hours underground, which means when you take it out after 24 hours, it literally melts in your mouth. We do have options available for people that don't eat lamb or even vegetarian. It's traditional Arabic cuisine, but even if you're not eager to eat the lamb, it's still worth it to try it out just for the experience, because the team opens the oven in front of the guests and then talks through the whole process and talks a lot about the culture as well, the local culture. So it's a very beautiful way to spend the evening. In traditional and typical Six Senses style, we do have our own organic garden on property. So we source most of our produce on the resort, especially in winter when everything is in full bloom. We also have an organic farm, which is about 20 minutes outside the resort, that guests can also visit. You will find chicken there and goats and cows, and you can go pick your own eggs, and then we can create the farm breakfast for you at the farm. And what is very interesting is that we also make our own cheese. We are the only cheese factory in all of Oman, and the first one. So it's super exciting as well. At the moment, we're making 7 different types of cheeses, but we are learning new things every time, and there's always more coming on. So it's very, very nice to try them at the breakfast buffet. Even though Zighy Bay is all villas and you would think honeymooners and couples only, we are perfectly equipped for families as well. We have a new kids club that was built only last summer. This is not the best picture, but unfortunately we had to postpone our photo shoot due to the current situation. I promise you there will be better pictures coming out soon. But just to give you an idea, this is one of 2 rooms that the kids can use. There is a wet area where they can splash and color and be a little bit wild, and then there is this the play area. And you can see also again in traditional Zighy style, everything that we built is built with natural material or recycled material. So you can see the glass bottles here in the wall that give really beautiful light as well. Being Six Senses, wellness is a huge topic for us. We have a beautiful spa on property, 2 traditional Arabic hammams as well that can be tried. And we have our own Ayurvedic doctor. It's actually the gentleman you see here on the picture on the right. We do wellness screenings on property. That means if guests come, they go through the screening. It's a process of 15 minutes. We use non-invasive technology. And then with this wellness screening, you can basically figure out what your body needs. Might be sleep, then you will be recommended to attend our sleep program. It might be exercise, then Dr. P, our Ayurvedic doctor, would then recommend exercise, either fitness or yoga, or whatever it is your body needs. we will then be able to advise you accordingly. Apparently, I did the wellness screening. Apparently, my cells are 3 years older than I actually am, which is a bit depressing. But it's very, very interesting, and it's a good way to find out what you can improve, even if it's only little improvements for your daily routine, to actually be healthier and maybe live a little bit longer. And then experiences is the third big pillar for Zighy Bay. So it's sustainability, it's the wellness, and the experiences. We have about 70 different experiences for our guests to try. We're very lucky, obviously, being surrounded by mountains and the sea. So there is lots of activities you can do on the water. This is what you see on the picture is our dahab. It's a boat that has been completely renovated up to 6 Senses standards. It has 3 bedrooms, so you can actually take the boat out for a cruise for a night or even 2 nights. You can have 6 guests out there. Again, the perfect way to social distance. You would just be out on the ocean with the crew and the dolphins. But you can also just take it out for a day cruise. We offer traditional Omani dhows for sunset cruises as well, which is beautiful. And the thing with the area that we are in, Musandam, is called the Norway of the Middle East. So you would find lots of bays between those mountains with beautiful private beaches, and some local villages that you can actually only get to by boat. So those things you will only see when you get out on the water with the boat. And then the other thing that we are fortunate with is the mountains. You have all, as you can see here, this is the Omani version of the Grand Canyon. So you can either hike up there or drive up there, or if you're very adventurous, you can, as I said, hike. It will take you a few hours, so if you have to be fit to do that experience. But it's absolutely beautiful to sit up there, see the sunset, have a picnic, or even during the cooler winter months to have a lunch. Or you can just relax. You can come to Zighy and be super active, or you can come to Zighy and just relax, put your feet up, and you can see the beach is absolutely beautiful. It's the Indian Ocean actually, so it's the Omani Sea that kind of links into the Indian Ocean. And what a lot of people don't know is that there is beautiful diving as well at our bay or in the area. So again, something to explore for the guests. And that's really it from my side. I will finish off with this slide and hand back over to Irene, if that's okay.
Thank you so much, Katja. I think it has been a great presentation, like very, very specific about the property, and can give us a great idea and everyone. I'm not sure if anyone has any question to ask Katja. Would you like to ask anything? Fatima was asking in the chat before, how is the experience of the check-in in the zip line? We had the experience, but maybe you can talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So what happens is basically the guests get driven up to the mountaintop. And there is our paraglide instructor, Itzo. He has been doing this for 25 years. He does more than 1,000 jumps every year, so he's very, very experienced. And you would be strapped into a harness together with Itzo, so you cannot jump by yourself, don't worry. It's perfectly safe. And then you literally just jump off the mountain. It takes anything between 10 and 20 minutes. It very much depends on the wind at that point in time, but it's a beautiful experience. And then you land on the side of the resort. Our team is there to welcome you with refreshments, cold towels, and then you will be driven to the reception area with a buggy, and your luggage and everything else will obviously be taken down separately by car, and will be waiting for you at the arrival lounge already.
Great. Thank you so much.
We don't let you jump with the luggage.
You know, everyone is asking that question when we talk about Zighy Bay. Everyone is asking, what about the luggage?
You would be down very fast if you take a luggage.
Great. So let me check if we have some more questions on the chat. Yes, Vicky is asking if the microflight activity is still available. I guess yes,
absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Microlight is something we don't do on arrival because it actually, the experience starts from the property because you have an engine, so you can literally start from the ground. You don't have to jump from the mountain. But the nice thing about the microlight is that you can stay up a lot longer, obviously, because you're not depending on the wind. So you can fly for half an hour, and you can you can obviously steer it. So you can fly over the entire mountains. You can see all the villages up there. And some of these villages still live like they used to live 100, 200 years ago. So it's really, really impressive to see that from above.
Yeah, it is. We had the experience and it's amazing. Yes, Alberto.
Orlando wants to know how much is the extra cost. 195, right?
Yes, correct. $195.
Great. And Carles was asking if there's people traveling together, if they jump separately.
Yeah, they would jump separately. So what we do is obviously the first one jumps, but there's always a team up on the mountain as well. So the others would all be entertained. There's obviously lots of picture taking and stuff happening. So the time passes very quickly. And once the first one is down, each then gets in a car, drives back up the mountain, which doesn't take more than 5 minutes. And then the next one is ready to jump. And while the other one is waiting down, usually people take videos and pictures of the person coming down. So it's a whole experience. And even the waiting doesn't really matter because people actually enjoy it. And there's always stuff there to interact with, so people don't get bored.
Great. Thank you so much. Let's see if there is any other questions. Bibi is asking if there is a minimum of nights to visit Oman and finish it.
No, there's the only minimum stay we have is over New Year's Eve, over festive. Otherwise, there's no minimum from our side. But I would recommend Zighy at least for 2 nights because, you know, especially when you come from Dubai, the 2.5 hours flight, the 2.5 hours drive, and then, you know, until you settle in your villa, 1 night is not enough to actually appreciate the beauty of the resort. I would say minimum 2 nights. We have a lot of guests that stay for 2 weeks, so anything in that range is great. But yeah, if you want to combine it with a trip with an Oman trip, then I would definitely say to fly to Dubai. Even you can drive, but it's, as I said before, it's a long drive. So it's almost a better option to take a short flight from Muscat, 45 minutes up to Dubai, and then take the drive from there.
It's the best connection, right?
Yeah.
Right. I think we don't have any more questions on the chat. Yes, there is another one coming from Bibi. How long it takes between Muscat and Zighy Bay by boat? And she's asking also if the travelers can do this transfer after visiting Oman, if they can go by boat to Zighy Bay.
You can. There is a ferry, but the ferry only goes 3 times a week. I think it goes every alternate day. The trip is up to 4 hours, and I do have to say it's not an amazing experience because it's a public ferry. It's not anything luxury. There is an option, obviously, to come by private boat if that's what guests want to do. That can be done. But you still have to calculate about 4 hours, and you still have to go through the border proceedings in Shenas and also at the Zighy border. So it's not all that simple, unfortunately.
Okay, that's actually a good question and good to know what you said, right? Yeah, Fatima is also asking about offers. If there is any offer like stay 6, pay 5, and so on. I don't know if you have already the offers for the next year or not, but yeah.
Yeah, we are actually ready to take business. We just need the borders to open. So we have an extended stay offer that is a 15 or 20% discount depending on the length of stay. And then there is also an early bird of 10%. So you can actually save up to 30% if you book very early and if you stay longer. And from 6 nights and above, there is also transfers included. And the transfer cost for the hotel transfer is about $240 per way. So it's a huge saving. If you stay for 6 nights and above, you save $500.
Great. Thank you so much. Next question is from Christian. Is it possible to rent a car and explore the surroundings?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And as I said, in the beginning, the Omanis are super hospitable people. So if you drive around, you 100% make friends. There's a lot of local karak shops, like the local traditional tea that they drink. So you can stop by there. People will always chat with you. So it's actually a really nice experience. I have to say, Diba is relatively quickly explored. So Diba is a small village, and then there's already the border to UAE. So it's not like you can actually explore for days, but it's definitely worth it for a day trip to go to Diba village. There is an old fort that can be visited as well. So I would say for a day trip is fine.
Good. Thank you so much. Let's see for the next question from Jorge. He's asking if you have your own diving center,
Yes,
sorry, or is it outside the property?
No, we have our extra divers team on site.
Great. And I think the last one now from Cello. How about cancellation fees for 2020 and begins of 2021?
That's a good one in current situation. I mean, at the moment we are working off 5 days cancellation for the summer. Now the summer is not necessarily a period that any of us, I think, will be traveling that easily. For next year, we still at the moment following the contracted terms and conditions. Having said that, though, we have been extremely flexible and we have refunded all the money to all our guests staying from that have been booked from the time the borders started shutting down. So there is absolutely no worries. Even if there is a 30-day cancellation in the contract or in the booking confirmation, it's not something that should scare people because we are very, very flexible.
Great. That's a good question. And I'm sure everyone is thinking about this these days, right? So far we don't have any more questions, but of course, if anyone wants to ask anything after the presentation, we will share Katia's email with everyone, and of course you can count with Alberto, Beatriz, and myself if you want to ask anything about Zighy Bay. But before finishing, we would like to ask Katia if there is any surprise, anything you want to share with our partners.
Yeah, we would like to invite one of you for a 2-night stay, including half port, at Six Senses Zighy Bay.
Wow. Everyone is looking forward, even going by boat.
Thank you.
Right?
Now we have to see who wins.
Yes. So if you agree with this, what we will ask you only, Katia, this time we have a list of participants up to 86. So I will only ask you to tell me a number from 1 to 86, and hopefully you will be in charge of the lucky person.
Okay, I will go with the number. Let's take 30 because that's the birthday of my son.
30 or 13? What you said?
30. 30.
30. Okay. So let me just check who's number 30. Okay, so number 30 is Mr. Christian Bosch from Xavi Fernández Viajes.
Hombre,
Christian, I think.
Congratulations.
¿Estás ahí, Christian?
¿Está Cristian?
Bueno, enhorabuena. No sé
Sí
si
que
nos oyes
estoy,
o no,
yes,
pero
yes,
enhorabuena.
Cristian.
Sí que estoy, sí que estoy. Y
No,
además,
me había
mira,
conectado, pero no.
sí que estoy, sí. Y además es mi cumpleaños, o sea que buen regalo de
No me lo
cumpleaños. Sí, 21 de mayo.
Enhorabuena,
Nada,
Cristian, qué alegría.
Nada, un placer. Muchísimas gracias. Cuanto antes mejor.
Ojalá puedas ir pronto. Katia.
Por supuesto. Un placer. Many thanks, Katia.
Enhorabuena.
My pleasure.
That is his birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday!
Many thanks.
Oh, that's great. See?
That's perfect.
Nice, perfect.
Many thanks.
Que lo disfrutes, Cristian. Un abrazo.
Sure, gracias. Merci.
Bueno, pues una vez más, muchísimas gracias a todos por vuestra participación. Enhorabuena una vez más, Cristian. Thank you so much, Katia, for this great presentation that I'm sure everyone loved, and we really want to go even more than before, right?
Great.
Thank you,
You're all
Katia.
welcome.
I don't know if Alberto wants to add anything. Alberto?
Pues me uno un poco a las palabras de Irene. Muchísimas gracias a todos una vez más por acompañarnos un jueves. Thank you very much, Katia. Amazing presentation. Y recordaros solamente que el jueves que viene estará nuestro compañero Ari y tendremos la posibilidad de presentaros e introduciros un poquito más Six Senses Ninh Bay en Vietnam. Así que si podéis y estáis disponibles, nos veremos el jueves que viene. Así que feliz día para todos y un besito de parte de todos. Hasta luego.
Thank you.
Gracias, hasta luego.
Bye bye.
Alberto,
Gracias, hasta luego.
hasta el jueves.